Well, here we are, driving inspector success number 40. As you can see, I have my Mickey Mouse shirt on today. I am going to have a great day. A lot of exciting things are happening. I'm on my way to go see my dad this morning. He's struggling, just so you know, but keep him in your prayers. Part of it is that I'm getting ready to be out of town quite a bit, and I think that bothered him. But I'm getting ready to be at event after event, and I'm going to travel and see some of our members and do some good stuff hopefully there. I got a chance to go out and visit some members not too long ago, and it's always amazing. And I know that you must see this as well in your life as you get something closer and closer to being right, but something derails it and you realize that it needed to be just a little bit more to the right, to make it work. I see this happen all the time. And, I teach the Big Bang Marketing. And basically, as you walk into, a real estate office, by the way, there's like 15 different mavens, as I call them, that you can walk into and see and visit to help encourage them to send you business. And so in parts of the country, could be real estate attorneys. But also real estate agents, they're kind of like the one that can have the most influence, can help direct more business towards you than anything else. And the other thing about that, is I hear people go, well, real estate agents aren't in the office anymore. And Mike, how do you convince real estate agents, that they need to work with you more? How can we convince them how important we are? How can we convince them? As I had this discussion with one of our members, one of the things that I told him was, it's very important here. We talked earlier and I said, really what you need to do? You need to look at the man in the mirror, okay? It isn't about changing their whole perspective. It's about changing our perspective sometimes. One of my members who I've been coaching for years now and is like 400 times his business is just blowing it up. And by the way, he's a CPA. He's not even a home inspector, right? But he's part of our coaching business and everything, and we're helping him grow. And after a couple of years of coaching him, I went, hey, you need to be my CPA. So he's my own personal CPA on top of everything else. But he sent out a newsletter. And one of the things he talked about was how there was a book out there called Extreme Ownership. If you haven't read it, it's a pretty damn good book. But basically what it said was, we are responsible for everything. And when you start understanding that you are responsible for everything that happens in your life, then everything changes. You see, 95% of the people you talk to will want to blame the economy, will want to blame their spouse, want to blame their children, want to blame their employees, want to blame the real estate agents, okay? Want to blame the home buyers, want to blame the listing, want to blame the economy. Man, the list just goes on and on. One of the things that I have learned is that everything in my life is there because I put it there. Okay, it's that simple. I try to make sure that I have backups so that when things go wrong, that, I'm not standing on the side of the road with no spare tire per se. And by the way, that's gotten harder and harder because these new cars, they don't even put spare tires in them. Oh, drives me nuts, right? My dad, bless his heart, he keeps a whole extra spare tire in the back of his car just because he knows that if he has a flat, that you could do that. And so I'm still struggling with that. And it's amazing how the world sets you up for failure, And the question is, are you going to accept that? So people tell you, that, the real estate agents don't appreciate home inspectors, this, that. So you need to remember the 95% rule, okay? I've been teaching it now for, 10, 15 years. It's just amazing, right? 95% of the real estate agents, you aren't going to get them. They aren't going to get you. And if they use you for an inspection or recommend you, wonderful, okay? But it's that 5% of the real estate agents that are the most successful, that truly understand what you bring to the table, truly understand the value that you give to their clients, truly understand how much they want good, solid referrals from their clients. And the more they want good, solid referrals from their clients, the better inspection they actually want, right? They want to make sure that someone's buying a house has a great experience, doesn't end up in a house that has all kinds of inherent problems. They buy a house and then they find out it has foundation problems or roof problems or plumbing problems or whatever. Do you think that real estate agent is going to get a lot of referrals? Probably not. So the real estate agents that really understand this, really kind of want to make sure that their clients have a good experience, those are the agents that we want to market to. Now, it's like anything else. You got to sift through, out of 100, you got to sift through, 95 and go, okay, thank you. And, thank you for working with us. And we love working with you. But man, that 5%, the 5% that gets it, that understands it, that wants to work with you, those are the guys that we want. Those are the guys we're looking for. And I'm going to even be a little more blunt, and I probably shouldn't say this. When I go out and I go speak at home inspector conferences, I will tell you, I'm scanning the crowd and I'm asking myself this one question. Who are the 5% in that crowd that will get what we do and why we do it, will want to really move their business forward, are willing to do what it takes to move their business forward, right? Because 95% of inspectors are okay with what they've got right now. And those 95%, they're always going to have that same thing. They're always going to have, pretty much the same kind of life. I cannot tell you the number of times that somebody has come into our coaching business and they've been a home inspector for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, sometimes a lot longer, right? But they've been doing $100,000 a year and they think that's pretty damn good. And you may be thinking to yourself, that's pretty damn good, right? Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And they think that in fact, one of my clients drew me up a chart of what it looked like before they joined us, the 12 years before they joined us, and the 10 years after they joined us. Just incredible, great people. These folks were up out of Virginia and Maryland. One of the things that I tell people is, you think you have 12 years experience, but you don't. You have 1 year of experience 12 times. I hope you understand that. You have 1 year of experience 12 times. When you start really getting experience, when you really start growing, what happened for them was each year got better and each year got better and each year got better and each year got better till they were running, believe it or not, $1 million company. Last time I checked, by the way, I thought they were at least 2 million, 3 million. It wouldn't surprise me if they were a $4 or $5 million company by now. Haven't talked to them probably in about 2 years, 3 years, because, well, one, I've been taking care of my dad, not traveling as much, and some other things. But the bottom line is you need to make sure that you understand what I call beware the 95%, right? 95% of real estate agents will never understand you, will never truly, totally appreciate you. That's okay. We don't care about that. We're looking for the 5%. We're looking for the ones that really get it, really appreciate you, really want to make sure their clients get a great inspection, really make sure that their clients move into a great home, right? And so that they will get more referrals. I used to be part of an organization called By Referral Only, and that group was for real estate agents, right? Because what they were teaching was we work by referral only. Now, I took that whole idea and then moved it into the home inspection world, right? By referral only. I will tell you that well over 90% of our business is by referral only. And by the way, not just real estate agents, mortgage companies, title companies, insurance companies, and our past clients refer us all the time. Now, we also get quite a bit of business from investors. We also get quite a bit of business from our Google AdWords, because we started adding that in and trying to make sure that we could do some good stuff there. And we have just done incredible stuff there. It's been a wonderful thing for us. I will tell you, it only took me 20 years to figure out how to get it right, okay? And that's part of what happens to the 95% is they give up long before they get to that point. So here's the thing is, if business is not going the way you want it to, look in the mirror. Okay? Look in the mirror. Now, for all of you that are just blowing it out of the water right now, because the ones that I'm coaching right now are just blowing it out of the water. They're hiring people. They've raised prices. We have raised prices significantly, partially because we've had to pay our people a lot more. We've had to pay our people a lot more. The economy has shifted, right? I remember when we used to pay, $7 an hour for someone answering the phones. Man, we're paying well over that now, almost triple that, okay, just to give you a feel for that. But you know what? They do a great job. They're great people. And man, what an incredible experience they create for our clients and our mavens that are always out there doing great stuff. So here's the real trick. Here's the thing is, most of my members, here's one of the number one things that I talked about on my coaching call with them yesterday. So you've raised prices $10, $20, $30, okay? Or maybe you've raised prices $10 3 times, because there's a formula out there, 3 times 90 times 2. If you're booked out 3 days or more for 2 weeks at a time, you raise prices. And you can raise prices anywhere from $5 to $10 to $20. And if you're still booked out 3 days or more, you raise prices again. And if you're still booked out 3 days or more, you raise prices again. See, the average person, the average inspector is going, oh, but I already raised prices. So you think the gas company goes, oh, we already raised prices last month, we're not going to raise them again? If prices go up, if things happen, if there's a supply and demand function that happens there, prices go up, right? Do not be afraid to raise your prices once, 2, 3, 4 times. It's very common when somebody joins our coaching business that they will raise their prices 4 times or more the first year that they work with us. And the second year, 2 or 3 times. And the third year, maybe 1 or 2 times. And by the time they get to the 5th year, they might or might not raise their prices, but they're making $100 more per inspection because they have figured out how important timing is on the inspection process. So one of the cool things is we have appointments available every single day. Think about that. We have appointments available every single day because we want to make sure that if somebody calls and goes, hey, can you do an inspection today? We go, as a matter of fact, we can. Let us get that taken care of for you. I think maybe 3 days last month, we did not have an appointment same day. All right. And we actually created a guarantee. I got this from a gentleman out of Boston. His name was Rory. He created what he called the 48-hour guarantee. If we cannot book your inspection within 48 hours, we're going to give you $100 back. We're going to give you $100 off your inspection. So I took that to heart, and it really all started with a gentleman out of Houston named Gordon, and he went, man, if we're booked out 7 days or more, that's a problem. So he started inching it back. I watched Gordon inch it back. I watched Rory inch it back, and then I went, why don't we have same day inspections? If you go into the grocery store and they don't have milk that day, but they go, oh, we'll have milk tomorrow. No, I'm going to the next store, okay? Well, our industry isn't much different. Oh, you can't get me the inspection when I want it? Well, I'll just call the next inspection company, right? So there's that. Now, here's the other fun thing about the folks that were out of Virginia, Maryland. As they were growing their business and getting everything, one of the things that I teach my members is go open a separate bank account in a separate bank, all right? And every time you raise prices, you take a percentage of that, if not all of it, and you put it into that bank account. So Jonathan and Krista with our company, TexInspect, we do this, right? Every single day, we put more money into a separate bank and a separate bank account. And we actually have 2 or 3 bank accounts now because we're dividing it up for winter money and for growth money and for vehicles that we want to buy and stuff like that. So we put so much money per day into those accounts, right? And if you don't have a winter fund, well, you need to develop one. But it's not just a winter fund, it's a wealth fund. What are you doing to make sure that at some point you have $100,000 in the bank? At some point you have $250,000 in the bank. So here's what happened to our guys out of Virginia, Maryland. I was talking with our coaching members yesterday and I remembered this. Since most of their business was credit cards, they put all the credit cards in their main primary account. Any money that came in by checks, they put that money in a separate bank, completely separate bank and everything. And then they hit winter, right? And they hit winter and they're going, my gosh, why are we so broke? Why are we struggling so much. You know, we have done so good this year. Our business has grown. Why are we don't have enough money for payroll and everything else? And then our wonderful lady, she was driving by and she looked at the bank. She went, "Oh my goodness, I forgot we have money in that bank too." And it turned out they had $250,000 sitting in that bank, right? Because they had been separating the money and putting it over there. And that's part of what I want you to do. I want you to put money somewhere. I want you to forget about it. I want you to let it grow. I want you to let it do what it's supposed to do. And, you know, I live in Texas, and many places have this. We call it the rainy day fund, right? So if something goes wrong, things go wrong, Texas has this fund that they call the rainy day fund. Well, I call it in our business, and it was really Jonathan who came up with this name. We call it our winter fund. You know, so we know that winter's coming. Winter is coming, and we want to make sure we have enough money for winter. If you try to just live on exactly what you make during winter, when you're our size business, that's going to get very dicey. All right, because we have a lot of employees, we have a lot of people, and paying them through the winter time to make sure that they're still here in March can be kind of a misnomer. Well, that's all I'm going to talk about today, but think about what we talked about. Hopefully you're having your best year ever. We had our best March ever, best month in March ever, right? And then in April, we beat it, all right? And in May, we're crushing it again. And a big part of that is because of all the marketing that we put into place during the wintertime, and our marketing is still going strong right now. And you need to be making sure that for every inspector you have, that you're doing at least one presentation per week, one presentation at a real estate office per week. And for every inspector that you have, that you're visiting at least minimum 10 offices per week. And I really want you to visit the same 10 offices every week. Not 10 offices and then 10 offices and 10 offices. No, visit the same 10 every week. And if you can make that 20 offices, hallelujah, you're going to grow even faster. But make it the same offices every week, and then out of those offices, schedule a presentation once a week to make sure that you're there and that they know who you are and they get to know you, like you, trust you, and do all that. Well, I've gone a little longer today than I really meant to. I just want you to know I love you guys, but I just want to tell you guys, you know, be successful and be around those that are successful. And make sure your marketing stays strong. Make sure that you are taking the money while it's happening and putting a piece of it away for the future. The whole reason I'm able to do this is because I did that when I had a job. Okay? And I try to teach this even to the people that I work with so that they will do the same thing. You guys have a great day. Again, be successful. Be around those that are successful, because the more money we make, guys, the more people we can help. Bye-bye, everybody.
To learn more about Mike's next free webinar, head to coachblueprint.com/Zoom.